beautiful people, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Rorisang Mabogoane, and if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. It's great to have you in my little corner of YouTube where we speak all things adulting, faith, personal development, career development, lifestyle, the works. Anything and everything that is necessary for us to navigate our young adult lives. Before we get started, make sure to hit that subscribe button. That red button must turn gray. I'll give you guys like 5 seconds to do that. Did you do the right thing? Did you press the subscribe? Give this video a massive thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Comment down below what you enjoyed about today's video and what other videos you'd like to see. Share this with anybody and everybody who you think might need it. And last but not least, hit those notification bells so that you do not miss another video. So without wasting any more time, let us get straight into today's video. So we're back again with another sit down, and this is one that is basically unintentionally a follow-up to the video that I spoke about the lessons that I'm learning while navigating my 20s. If you haven't watched that video, I will link it down below. Please do take the time to watch it and basically bask in some of the lessons that I was sharing and some of the insights that I was sharing about how my journey throughout my 20s has been. Like I mentioned in that video, I'm at the 25, or I'm at the like half point mark because I'm 25, and I feel like I've learned a lot within the first 5 years, and I also am grateful to have sisters who have walked this journey before me, who are able to kind of share their lessons as well. So I've learned a lot about the last 5 years, but I've learned a lot about what to anticipate for the upcoming 5 years, for example, and anything after that, because they're like 5 years older than me. So anyway, so that is a follow-up. If you didn't watch that video, please do watch it. It was quite insightful. Even I still go back and keep watching that video because I actually sound very smart in that video. I was just like, wow, Rori, this is you, girl, this is you. Anyway, so without wasting any time, today's video, I want to touch on some brutal truths that we should have known for our 20s, but nobody told us. I feel like
I don't know whether to ask or to say what, but now it's enough. Enough is enough. We need to know exactly what's going on, or allow us to go there inside and see whether it's the process, because now I don't know what to believe.
I feel like there's a lot of gatekeeping that happened, you know? I was speaking to someone, and I think I mentioned it in the other video as well, that like, I didn't imagine my 20s to be like this. I feel like there was this, you know, idea of what adulthood is supposed to look like. You can afford everything, you have the balance that you need, you're able to comfortably move out of home, buy your own car, buy clothes that you want to buy. And, you know, there was just your friendship goals, your couple goals, you know, you're that girl, you know, that's what 20s look like from the outside. And then you get in and it's like, but no. Our soul dreams here. But like, this is, unless if things have changed and you guys aren't gatekeeping, but things have genuinely changed. But like, I really feel like there's certain truths that you guys should have told us before we entered our 20s, or in the early stages of our 20s. And today I want to share 5 of those truths with you guys. So if you're watching this and you're in your 20s, please do let me know down below if you relate to these truths, if you don't relate, and what other truths you think are relevant that we should have known that they didn't tell us. Like our parents also, like, let's not just blame our siblings, but genuinely our parents, they just said, go see for yourselves, guys. That's literally what our parents said. They just said, go and see for yourself, instead of prepping us to say, listen, these are some of the things that you can expect. Mom, I'm side-eyeing you. I'm just saying, because I know you watch my videos. I'm side-eyeing you because some of these things in like, wow. Okay, now I'm wasting time. Let's get into the first truth of things that we should have known in our 20s that nobody told us. The first truth is that our 20s are confusing. I think our 20s are probably the most confusing decade, or is, that this decade is the most confusing decade of our entire lives, because this is the decade where you are discovering yourself. You are figuring out your likes, your dislikes outside of the shadow of your parents, and you kind of feel lost. There was this reel, if I can find it, I'm really bad at this whole thing of putting reels in here, but there's a reel that is trending right now that says, it's okay to feel lost.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay to feel a bit lost. You've never been this version of you before. All the other versions had to fight to get to this one, and this one is brand new. You haven't experienced the world as this version of you before, so it's okay. You're gonna feel a little lost. Give yourself some time. Give yourself some grace. Stay encouraged.
Never been this version of yourself before. I really will try and find it. It's okay to be this version of yourself. Oh, it's okay to feel lost because you've never been this version of yourself before. Be kind to yourself, because guys, we don't know what we're doing. I know when you guys look at my Instagram, you look at my LinkedIn, you look at my YouTube, and you guys actually think I have it all together. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just as confused as all of us. I'm winging it as I go. I'm so confused. I'm so confused about whether I must start a business, quit my job, start a family, get married. Okay, yeah, those things that maybe not now. But you know what I mean? Like, there are so many decisions that I feel like we're pressurized to make, and we don't even know ourselves that well yet. We're really lost. We're so confused. And I feel like it was portrayed to us that 20s, you have it all figured out. You have your career path figured out. You know what you're going to do. You know how old you're going to be when you get married or when you have kids, or, I am so confused. I don't even know what I'm going to have for dinner tonight. Like, that's how lost I am. And I just feel like it would have, knowing this would have primed us for the confusion. I'm not saying that it would have helped us know what to do or helped us discover ourselves at a faster pace, but I really do think it would have alleviated the pressure that we've put on ourselves to kind of have it all figured out when we really don't even know what we're doing. I'm evolving every day. I feel like, I've read a book, and I might do a book review about The Defining Decade. I can't remember who wrote it. An extremely incredible book that I'll continue to go back to even as I navigate the rest of my 20s. And even in there, she's just like, listen, enjoy the journey. You don't know what you're doing. Just enjoy it, really. So your 20s are very confusing, and I wish I knew that before I even entered my 20s, because I really was, I'm a perfectionist. I like being in control of everything. I like knowing from Monday to Friday, from 8 until 5. In your 20s, you can't be like that. So I really wish we knew that the 20s are this confusing. Self-discovery takes time. Self-actualization takes time. Self-creation takes time. We don't have it all figured out, and we're gonna need to live in that truth that we don't have it figured out. We're all confused together. Don't think, like, social media has really put us in this thing where, people know what they're doing. We don't know what we're doing. We really don't. So the first truth is that the 20s are confusing, and it's okay. I just wish we knew. I just wish we knew. But the 20s are very confusing. The second truth that I wish we knew before we entered our 20s is that friendships evolve and some fade. This is a very hard truth to swallow, because I am a very loving person and I cling to my people because I'm really not a people's person. I have a very small circle, and I don't want to lose that small circle. Like I hold on to them for dear life, you know. And the one truth that I needed to learn, that I wish I knew earlier, is that your friendships are gonna evolve. The dynamics aren't gonna always be the same, and some friendships might even end. Some friendships might no longer serve you, and you're gonna have to be okay with letting those friends walk away. Some friendships might not be as tight-knit as they used to be. I have people who I used to speak to each and every single day, and now 2 weeks can pass. The love is still there, but like the dynamic of the friendship has evolved, you know. And it's not that you guys love each other any less or whatever, but the 20s, like I said in the first point, or the first truth, is that we're really just trying to figure life out, and we don't have time to 20 minutes every single day, you know. Some friendships are going to end. Some might end peacefully, where you guys simply outgrow each other, and some might end not so nicely. And I've had to come to terms with both, you know. And someone who's very peaceful like myself, who chooses to just keep quiet and like step back. Oh, you don't want to be my friend anymore? I'm going to keep quiet, you know. If it means just deleting your number and blocking you and keeping it moving, then let that be the case. But friendships won't last forever. I look back now to my high school and university days, and I can't even count on one hand how many friends I have left from those days. If anything, majority of my circle is from church, because I mean, I fellowship with them on a regular basis, as you've seen in some of my vlogs and so forth. But friendships aren't going to be the same. And the one thing I want to encourage here is for you to prioritize new connections. Don't be afraid of making new friends. I am making so many new friends, and a lot of them I've actually made online. It's crazy. Like, I had to step out of my comfort zone, realizing that not all friendships are going to last. And also, because life is not meant to be lived in isolation, you need to make friends. But also, you need to make friends that serve you and that will, you know, stretch you to be the type of person that you want to become, right? So I'm being very intentional now about the type of friends that I'm keeping, the type of friends that I'm making, because these are then friends that challenge me. That put, Rory, you haven't put out a YouTube video in 2 weeks. What's going on? For example, you know, friends that stretch you to reach your full capacity, friends that teach you. You can't always be the smart friend. You need to also have friends that feed into you, for example. So friendships don't last forever. Some friendships fade. We grow apart. It's okay to just say congratulations when someone is getting engaged. Doesn't mean I love you any less. Doesn't mean there's any beef. The dynamics just aren't the same. Our paths differ. You end up being closer to people maybe that you studied the same course as opposed to people that you studied different courses as, because you guys speak the same language and you don't know what the trajectory of what trigonometry is when you studied I don't know that stuff, you know what I mean? So yes, I love you, but I can't hold a conversation with you, and it's not going to stretch me because I don't know what you're talking about, you know? I still love you though. So those dynamics change and we grow apart, and it's okay to only speak once or twice every couple of months. So it's okay to no longer be friends with friends that no longer serve you. There's no beef, you know? There's no hard feelings. I'm still a phone call away, you know? But I think, especially when you watch Friends, the series, you just have this idea that we're all gonna grow old together. Like, we're gonna be friends forever, you know, BFFs for life, you know? And it's not like that. It's really not like that, and it sucks. It's a tough pill to swallow. I think, like I said at the beginning of this point, for me, who clings onto my circle for dear life because of how small it is, it's a truth that I had to come to terms with. And to be honest, sometimes I do wake up and I feel sad about some of the friendships that have ended, or some of the dynamics that have changed and all of that. Like, sometimes it still does affect me. But it's a truth that I wish we knew, so that we could mentally prepare ourselves that, hey, I might not always be so tight to A, B, and C. And it's okay, you know, it's okay for that friendship to end. Some friends are here for a season, and it's okay. Enjoy them in that season. I think in a previous video, I think it was also in the lessons I'm learning in my 20s video, to say love them now, because you really don't know if they're going to be here tomorrow. And I'm not speaking about this in this context. I'm not speaking about it in terms of death. I'm speaking about it in terms of when that friendship ends, you're able to look back and say, I love this person with my whole heart, and I gave my all to this friendship, and it's okay. It's just that that season came to an end, and it's okay. The third truth, which is one that resonates a lot with me, and I think I touched on it a little bit in the previous truth, is that you won't always be a social butterfly. And that's okay. I think I'm going to say that's okay a lot. Being an introvert is okay. You don't always have to be that vibrant, young, energetic, bubbly. To be honest, I don't think I've ever been that type of person. But you don't always have to be that person. Don't put pressure on yourself because you are embracing a season of isolation, or embracing a season of introversion, or embracing a season of silence, and just being alone with God and all of that. And some people might not understand it and think you've changed, but you won't always be that social butterfly. We grow, we mature, we evolve. And I look at my brother now, who used to be, like, he's just at the start of his 20s, who used to be that guy. And yes, he sort of still is that guy from like a social perspective, but he's really toned down. Like, he's grown, he's toned down, he knows which rooms to be a social butterfly in and which rooms not to. He's figuring that out, so you won't always be that bubbly, everyone loves you, likable, social person. It's okay to be an introvert or an ambivert. I'm an introvert. But for example, my brother, he's an extrovert, but he's also still learning in his extrovertedness to calm down, like, I'm growing now, I don't need to be in everyone's faces all the time, and that's okay, so you won't always be that social butterfly that you thought you'd be. If anything, I thought when I got into my 20s, I'd be even more of a social butterfly. I wasn't a social butterfly at all, but I thought I'd be more of it, and it didn't happen. It didn't happen, so you won't always be a social butterfly, and be okay with that. Be okay with being an introvert, or be okay with the evolution from being an extrovert into an ambivert, or being an extrovert into an introvert. Sometimes it happens because life's circumstances just throw themselves at you and life happens. And sometimes it happens because you truly just evolve and you mature into someone that is completely different to who you used to be. And embracing that growth, embracing that evolution. I love the word metamorphosis. Embracing that era of morphing into something else, morphing into something more beautiful, from a caterpillar into a butterfly. Embrace that season. You won't always be a social butterfly. The fourth truth that I wish we knew is that success is not a sprint, but it's a marathon. The difference between a sprint and a marathon: a sprint, 100 meters, you're done in 10 seconds. I don't know what the world record is, whatever it is. I don't know these things. A marathon, the Comrades Marathon, is 90 kilometers. You run for over 12 hours, e.g. By this, and I think I've mentioned this so much in so many videos recently, you will not be an overnight success. You will if you, by luck, but it's not all gonna happen in the blink of an eye, Hard work, resilience, small, consistent daily steps are what are gonna get you to that success. And yes, it sucks because personally, I'm trying to drive my Merc and my Porsche right now. I'm really, and I really thought at this age I would have bought that for myself. I really thought at this age I'd be an executive or a CFO or a COO or whatever, or CEO. And yes, I'm on my way there. but it's a marathon, you know. I think when we looking back, you know, I looked at my sisters and they had just started working and they looked like they were winning, you know. They were traveling, they were doing this, they were buying one car now. And then I remember my sister, I looked at her sideways. I don't think I've ever told, or maybe I have. She bought a car, ne? Less than a year later, she bought another car, a better car. And at that time, that car was my favorite car. And I was like, hi, kusho kumnandi lana, you know? It's not like that, guys. It's not like that. You'll be working for 4 years like myself. And sometimes you wouldn't have reached your definition of success yet. And it's okay. Keep at it. Stay the course. Work hard. Upskill yourself in any way you can. Put yourself in rooms that you know will put you in positions that you need to be put in, and trust God with your career. I'm planning a video on solely, you know, trusting God on in your career, because God really does care about your career. It'll be coming out very, very soon. But success is not overnight. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon, and it's gonna take you years to get there. And I love actually that I use the Comrades Marathon as an example, because for some people it takes 6 hours to finish the Comrades Marathon, and for others it takes 12. Oksalayo, they ran a marathon. Do with that analogy what you must. For some people, that success will come. Some people my age are driving their Mercedes Benzes. Yes, it's a tough pill to swallow, because sometimes looking from the outside, I feel like I work harder than them and so forth and whatever. But maybe I didn't study what they studied, and their starting salary was higher than mine, for example. You know, we don't put these things into consideration. But at the end of the day, I'm going to finish that Comrades Marathon. At the end of the day, I'm also going to drive that Merc. And it's okay. Yes, it might take me twice the time. Yes, it might take me triple the time. Maybe I won't end up driving a Merc. I might end up driving a BM, and that's okay, you know. But at the end of the day, success is the goal. But just make sure that you know it's a marathon to get there. Baby steps. I love the song Oxygen by Stephanie Gretzinger. I'll always go back to the song, especially in seasons where I feel like I'm being very hard on myself. And one line says, baby steps and short breaths. Anything is progress. Baby steps. In order for you to finish that marathon, you need to take one step. I've used this analogy a lot in previous videos about the staircase. You need to take that first step and continue taking, and it's not going to happen overnight. And I wish I knew this before, because I feel like there's a lot of pressure that would have been alleviated off of me if I knew this before. If I knew that I wasn't going to have my Mercedes Benz by 25, I would have been a bit more kinder to myself. If I knew I wasn't going to be a CEO by the age of 23, or own 10 properties by the age of 25, because, you know, some of these things are things that you thought you would be able to accomplish. And, you know, and I'm not saying they won't happen. You will own those properties. You will drive that car. You will have that position. In Jesus' name, we're speaking it into existence, and we're speaking by faith, and we're living by faith, and we're living as if God has already done it. Amen. But His timing is not ours, number one. But also, let's not put pressure on ourselves because you thought that you would have been at a specific point in your career, in your life, and whatever, and you're not. So it's a hard truth to swallow. I wish I knew it before. I would not have bashed myself the way I have been bashing myself over the last few weeks. But it's okay, such is life, and we are here. And we are embracing the moment, and we're learning a lot from whatever season, whatever step, because every step on that staircase has a lesson that you need to learn. And I'm literally taking that lesson, and that lesson will help me then execute on the next step and so forth. And in order for you to finish a marathon, that's exactly what you need to do. You need to take one step, and then the next, and then the next, and then 12 hours later, 8 hours later, 9 hours later, you would have finished your Comrades Marathon. The fifth truth, one that also resonates a lot with me, is that you are more capable than you think. As young professionals, especially, we really do feel inadequate. We really let imposter syndrome creep into our lives, and I've got a whole video on imposter syndrome that I'll link either in the cards or in the description box below. We really do. We feel like we're supposed to know everything overnight, and that is not the truth. You still have potential to grow. You still have potential to learn and to develop yourself. And in this season right now, you actually know more than you think. You really do. You might feel inadequate because you're working with people who have more experience than you, who know more than you, who have a photographic memory and you don't. I work with someone who has a photographic memory, and I'm just like, listen, dude, I know we read the same book, but I really can't remember that, and it's okay. It's okay. But you are more capable than you think. You can execute that project better than you think. You can finish that assignment better than you think. You are more capable than you think. And you know why? Because your source is God. You have been given the ability to do what you're doing. And God wouldn't put you in a place where he knew you wouldn't succeed, where he knew you wouldn't grow, where he knew you wouldn't be stretched, where he knew you wouldn't develop. And in that space that he's put you in, you are more capable than you think. Please remember this one. If you didn't hear anything I said in this entire video, this one is the most important truth that I wish we all knew from the beginning of time, that we are more capable than we think. We are not inadequate. So stop with that imposter syndrome. Stop with that negative talk. Stop with that complaining. You are it. Like, you are that person. You are so capable. You are so intelligent. You are excellent. And I wish the world told us that more. I wish we told ourselves that more. You're brilliant. You are so capable. And I wish we knew that more. And I wish we knew that earlier, so that we wouldn't look at ourselves in such a negative light and look at ourselves in such a negative manner, because that really has a whole lot of unlearning for us to shift our mindset as well, from those negative connotations or views that you have of yourself into positive ones. It takes a lot of unlearning and relearning and so forth. And I wish we knew earlier that we are brilliant, we are capable, we are intelligent, we have so much potential. It doesn't end here. We have so much potential. I'm speaking to myself as well, and that's why I'm so passionate about this, because I really do feel, especially in this new job, that I don't know what I'm doing. These people are so knowledgeable, but when my boss asks me to do something, I get it done, and I get it well done. That says a lot, So you are more capable than you think. You are brilliant. You are intelligent. You know what you're doing. You are that girl. You are that guy. You know what you're doing, and you're good at what you do. Yes, you might not be perfect. There is still room for development, but you are so good at what you do, and you are highly capable to follow through on anything that is put on your table, on anything that is put on your plate, on anything that God gives your hands the opportunity to touch. You are more capable than you think. So with all of these truths being said, there's some things that I just want to remind you of as you navigate the unlearning or relearning of how to reprogram your mind. Lean on your support structure, lean on your friends who will speak life into your life. Also practice self-compassion, practice self-love, practice those affirmations. I've spoken about affirmations in so many videos before as well, because if you don't speak life into your life, how do you expect other people to speak life into your life? Does that make sense? Like, if you don't love yourself, you can't expect other people to love you, So lean on your support structure, but also practice self-compassion, practice positive self-talk, practice positive affirmations that you live throughout your life, throughout your 20s, things that you should have been doing if you knew these truths earlier. I hope what I said right now makes sense. I really hope so. But with that, I encourage you guys to continue to navigate your 20s with grace. And know that there are more truths that will continue to reveal themselves within your journey. Also know that our journeys are different. So there are certain truths that might be relevant in your life that are not necessarily relevant in the life of someone who is on this marathon with you, right? One person is wearing Nike and another person is wearing New Balance. You guys have the same destination, but how you guys get there, how you guys are dressed might look a bit different, you know? So those truths might not be relevant for you as they are for someone else, and vice versa. So be gracious to yourself as you are gracious to other people as you navigate your 20s. I think that's one thing that I've needed to learn and continuously have to teach myself, to be kinder to myself, to be compassionate to myself, and to show myself and extend mercy and grace to myself as I do to other people. So with that, we've reached the end of today's video. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and share this with anybody and everybody who you think might need it. With so much love and so much light from me to you, have an amazing rest of the day. Stay safe and God bless. Bye guys.